Okay, I have to look for something in Task Manager that is under Chrome that I have no idea what it is. I have no idea. Something in the background. I wish I knew what it was. I can't move it off my screen. Wow, I don't even know what it is. It's in the corner. I wish somebody can tell me how to get rid of this. I'm not happy. I started my video, right? But okay, that was that. I got this in the corner of my screen. Before I begin, I have to see what this is. I don't know what this is. I might have to end the program. Wow, mail, no. Task Manager, Windows Explorer. I don't know. Background, crash service, end task. I don't know. Parsing, runtime broker. Whatever it is, I don't like it. I'm gonna I'm gonna shut down everything and reopen. I'm gonna just I can't do that. What is this? Location Chrome browser content, web indicator. Okay, just give me a minute. I'm gonna start this video when I see just one person here. Right now, I'm gonna try and get rid of whatever is up on my screen. No, not that. Wow, I got rid of it. What am I gonna start talking about right now? No one's here, so it's not really that interesting to begin talking about anything, right? I mean, I can just upload a video. I mean, I can show you a picture of my cat and just say, let's start at 5 minutes, right? What are you doing there, cat? Can you talk? Can you swallow? Can you yawn? Who gave you a bath? Who used the soap? Who brushed your teeth? Where's your toilet paper? Did you put your socks on this morning? Do you wear a hat in the winter? Do you wear gloves? Where are your pants? Do you wear pants? What about your underwear? And you're a girl, so do you wear a bra? When it's that time of the month, do you go down to the pharmacy or do you take care of everything on your own? What happened to the human? Did they change everything into the human so they can be more aware? What happened to the human? What happened to the human? Michelle, what happened to the human? Michelle, what happened to the human, Michelle? It's you and me, buddy. It's you and me. Can you hear me? Can you swallow? Can you understand me? Let's see if I can. Are you sniffing out the camera? Your nose is dirty. You should let me clean your nose. Can you clean my nose? Hey, kitty. Tell me what's going on. Can you open up your mouth? Open up. You're a girl. You're a girl. For those who just joined me, she's not wearing a bra. She's 5 years old, which is like 35 in our time. This is a little girl. Doesn't have a hat. Goes outside for the winter with no hat, no gloves, no underwear, no pants, nothing. Doesn't go to the pharmacy, to the shopping center. Doesn't buy any toilet paper, nothing. Just a cat. So we're going to start this video. If you have any questions of what I do, hitting the 5-minute mark, let me just make this clear. Actually, this looks good the way it is. Since you're on that side, 9, and I'm on this side, 10, 11, because the screen is the 10. I need to completely bring you through the door onto the other side. Welcome. I've removed the film in between the door. Being in the house at 9, is it on the outside of the house? 10, 11, 12, 13. And then there's inside the house. I got to bring all of you, 1, 2, 3, and 4 inside the house. So now I have to pass the screen between the area space of where you were to the area space to where you are now. You were there, now you're here, you die, you go back there. So you have 1 die and 2 dies. Now you have to understand the area space. Now I'm not sure if we're upside down or not. We would sit 1 die over here and 1 die over here. And then we'd have the area space of the 1 die over here. So let's call this one Earth, Luna. Let's call this one Earth, Luna. And imagine Luna can spin, right? And not sure where she's attached, right? Maybe she's attached like that. And then maybe it would be something like that, like the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? Where no matter what you do, right, you always have Luna in the center. And then you're balancing your life between phobias and demons, right? Between phobias and demons. Why phobias? Why demons? Why not all the good stuff? Well, the good stuff, okay, is once you filtrate all the bad stuff. So how do you know what's good until you learn? See, is it in life we learn, oh, look, let's touch the coal over the gold. Not that the gold is any better than the coal, because the coal it's just a hot. You see the way they worked over the black and the gold, black gold. Maybe it's just an expression. We have 1 moon, 2 moons, Mars and, 2 moons of Mars, Deimos and Phobos. For me, numerology is not just counting the letters and matching everything up, but knowing what it means before it was even created. From the sand. From the sand, was it the salt or was it the sand that I made the glass that separated both of us, although you see nothing? So we have the 2 moons of Mars, Phobos and Deimos, and the 1 anal moon, right? Maybe we can spin this like a dreidel, right? Because the dreidel does spin. What are the letters on a dreidel? You see, numerology goes even deeper to understand where everything, all the symbolism, where everything has come from, right down to the street signs, to the names and the marks and the cars, to where it's 3 shots, so where it's three throws of a ball that turn into a strike and put you in the dugout for the person in the on-deck circle to come up to the plate. Every single one of these words, okay, is emotion and creation, because the game was an idea that came from something that stemmed before the game was the game that it is. Deimos and Phobos, why balance between the two? To understand and to arrive on Luna, central intelligence. Knowing the difference, and when knowing what is. I lost for words in that. I don't have any of this practice. It just comes out as it is, whatever it is, trying to differentiate and understand numbers, numerology. How do we read the zodiac? How do people know over the last hundreds of years how to read the stars, how to see the signs, how to understand the weather, how to see the words? It's all built in. It's all built in. And although it's at, it's light speed and even quicker, okay, and multiplied in multiple levels, because we run into other lights. When I speak to you and you listen to me, we are other lights. So moving at the speed of light, but it becomes how much, I'm trying to understand how much before it gets lost in translation. And that's usually 4 times the speed of light. At 3 times the speed of light, you maximize, okay? 2 incoming and 1 distributing, 3. So if it's coming from somewhere, It has to be where it was, coming to where I am. So it's one area space plus whatever is coming in. And we're going to look at that as 5. But we're going to understand this is the maximum that we get. It's coming from that world or that world. Boom, boom. We use 2 of them over each other, and we end up with 3 and 3 equals to 5. 3 and 3 equals to 5. There's all kinds of stuff going on right now. I've probably lost my place from where I was. Numerology. If you want to talk baseball, how it works in baseball, but I want to get on to the base right now. So we were talking about demus, and phobia. So once you know what's not a demon, maybe we're going to say omen, what is not from Mars, D, man, O, man, D, Mars, creation, D, O, 19, the spirit, Mars, the 19 or AI and everything that lives inside of it is the cycle of our moon, 28, because inside of 1 and 9 is 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, 55. I'm putting it this way. If I put it this way, it looks flat, looks like an O. If I put it this way, it looks like a 1, right? One of the things I'm also going to jump to, why is 6 so prevalent? That's 6. When you can make a straight cut and just cut a slice, and obviously we need 3 slices, we need 6 pages, and how many times do we have to turn the page? Twice. The front page, the introduction or the front of the book, we open it up, we have page 1. Titles on the front of the book, page 1. Page 2 is on the next page. So we have 1 whole page here and 1 whole page here. And now we have 1 whole page here. If we were working with Mars, we would add 1 more page. And now we have 24. We have the 4 sides and the front and the back to the page. We don't write on the 4 sides. 4 sides are lost. We get to write on the front and the back, and what's on the front, right? But when 2 fronts are facing, they're not on the same page. Trying to figure out what the equation is that's going to fit into numerology. Let's take something small here. I'm going to change into something else, or should I continue on Phobos and Demas as Phobos? Something to do with the USB key, and Deimos, the same thing, USB key, something to do with memory. I'm going to get into shapes. I want to check something in the kitchen for a second. Yeah, I'm making a little lunch right now. So what I did is I bought unsmoked bacon, and I pre-cooked some Brussels sprouts. And I took zucchini, and I first put in some that bacon stuff, and I'm cooking it all together. And then I'm going to take a couple of eggs, or I'm going to have my coffee right now and come sit with you. Just give me a minute. Usually I'm afraid to lose my space. Ask me anything. Let's make up an equation. Let's try to understand it. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get into the vine. You know, you have to get into the vine. You have to get on the line. You have to, how can I explain this? Before you can read something, you have to have what to read. So you have to get it from somewhere. You have to produce it. Or are you reading something of your own or something somebody else did? Where did you write it down? And the word write, does it mean the word write? Okay, I'm not talking right or left, blue or red. When I say write and you write it down, I'm not talking from the right. I use my right hand. I'm thinking write. Yes, writing, does it mean pressing the keyboard? What does it mean, writing? What are we writing? So we, some people will always say, hey, he's writing something. Yeah, it's, well, nowadays we notice is it could be the keyboard or with a pen or a pencil or something in your hand. But now we do it as I'm typing something, I'm writing, I'm typing. You're typing, you're writing. So the primary word for writing, I like to say we always use the word also as handwriting, right? So we're handwriting because there's other ways of writing, is there not? Are there not other ways of writing? So that means if we're calling it handwriting, wouldn't we be going back in time and saying, was there any other ways to write? So, obviously, you've heard before that we come from apes, right? So handwriting. How else did we write before? I'm going to just write start video. Where would I feel more at home? I'm going to get back to handwriting. Would I feel more at home here or on a resort somewhere where I'd love to just mingle with people of my own kind, right? Mingle with people of my own kind. So does the ape say, I want to mingle with people of my own kind? Do the rich want to mingle with people of their own kind? Will the homeless want to mingle with people of their own kind? Where does everybody want to be? I personally would feel comfortable somewhere else and using this as a career to feel comfortable. Since it's just a hobby and not a career, I'm sort of a little stressed out sometimes for some reason or not. I just, you know what I'm saying? This is the only thing I really rather do other than cooking and cleaning and taking care of the cat and speaking to my son and my friends and having a little bit of entertainment. This is really the only thing I want to do. And it's something that is 24 hours a day. Just like if you were a doctor, it's 24 hours a day. If somebody's feeling ill, you're not going to say, hey, don't work today, right? If you were a writer and be telling somebody a story, they say, hey, I can't tell you a story tonight, son. Saturday night, I don't work. So I believe that we all, at least me, it's 7 days a week for everything in life, for breathing, for thinking. That's it. For moving. Well, breathing is moving because it's already moving. There is no stability in life, meaning that things are continuous, whether it's one thing or another. Oh, yeah. Just want to put on just this. Oh, there it is. Okay. Somebody had told me. First of all, I got to show you this. This is the center of roulette. The 36 numbers is the center of roulette. Okay. So I'm not the only one that sees this. It's known all around. Okay. And here as well. Here on this here, 23, 14, 37, 16, 23, 39. So it's basically all 37, 39. I don't understand the complete thing of the setup yet of how the numbers are positioned, right? And I know if there's 31 over here, I'm going to have 30 on the opposite side. I know if I have 31 over here, I'll have 32 on the opposite side. I know 19 will give me 18. 19 You see, 19, the 18 is on this side, but 20 is on the opposite side. So when I get to 29, I know that 30 and 28 are on the opposite side. 12, okay, 13 and 11 are on the opposite side. 8, just want to do something here. 8, I already know that 7 and 9 are on the opposite side. 30, 32, 17 and 19. This is different. 17 and 19 is different. This is the center of the board. 17 and 19, because 19 is here. Now 21 will get 20 and 22, the opposite side of the board. And the reason for that, okay, is these two numbers are in the heart of 111. They're a total of 37. It splits right over here. This is where everything should actually split, right over here. Here's your first 37 coming together, right? But then again, the 21, let me see what it is. A 21 and 18 is 37. Yes, but there's a 19 in between. Here, there's nothing in between. So everything splits over here. So 12 and 21 is 33. 25 and 16 is 41. And then there's a split again. It shifts. So I'm going to go to this side and see where the shift is. See where the shift. There's got to be a shift here. Well, there's a shift right here because this is the beginning and the end. 1 and 36, and in between is 13. Man, where is number 12 fitting in between for women? Because 13 is opposite of 12, right? Here's the sun. So the sun and the woman come together. 1/4 and 1/2. Where's 12? Oh, here's 12. 12 is next to the birth. So I'm trying to pair up, but anyways, we're not working on this because this is all 37. And what you just saw before in this gentleman's page. Oh, no, not that page. Here. Yes, on this page over here. Let me just pull this camera out. On this page over here, this gentleman's page here. Right here. Right. So what I did is I wrote it down. Let's see. 6. Let's see if we can get this. 6, 32, 3, 34, 35, and 1. Right. And then 7, 11, 27. So you see I got that one. You see what happens when I break the light to the camera? Anyways, so I did that. Now, what I did now to that, okay, and if you notice, it's a total of 666, and what's happening is 5, 6, 7, 8. You see the 1? It's a single number. It's going in between the other numbers. Should I look at it that way and saying these are both in the 10 position, inverted? 10, 13, 14, 12, 13, 11, 12, 11. Can I look at it that way? Because these are in the center. We can look at it that way, just the way the black keys and the white keys are on the piano. What we're looking for and what we're doing is we're building stories and learning new ways to create equations, okay? So we can also use single digits. All the single digits, the single digit, you can call it Mars or Earth. And the double digit, you can call it Mars or Earth. You take a choice. You see, Mars is number 51. So I always use it for the single digit, although Mars has 2 and Earth has 1, where the numeric value for Earth is 52, not 511, it's 52. But it can also be written as 51 and 52. 50-50 chance, right? 50-50 chance between Mars and Earth, between this side and that side. I have to go check what's on the stove. I have to just remember I was working on these numbers. I was working on that. I'm going to be working, try and remind me, okay, if this is live, this is live now, that I want to work on just go over really quickly sports and the setup of the conferences, divisions, the teams. Yeah, I'm doing this all wrong because I'm not going to cook my meat. You know, if you saw me walking away from my camera, it's because nobody's here. And maybe somebody is. Let me go check out anybody's on this channel. Am I professional? No. Does it matter? No, because I am a professional. I'm just not a professional creator to that point. But in my work, I am definitely 100% professional. Let me see. Am I professional? Okay. I went to check out my page, and it's ironic that it says 3 likes, yet nobody seems to have come here. Let me check this out on Facebook now. Then I'm going to get back to my work. I actually have to see if the cat wants to go out for a minute. The cat. I'm not sure when I got that. Let me go see this. I have to go like my own page now. Okay, so just give me 1 minute. I have to go check something in the kitchen. Oh, it says I'm watching. Oh, lovely. It says I'm watching. Just give me 1 minute. I have to go check something. What did you want, Kat? Coming back in 1 minute. Come on in. Come in. Come in. Okay. Very good, girl. Okay. Now we're back. I'm going to talk about in this piece over here, area space. Although I probably started something, and I'm sure I'm talking to myself right now, that I believe if there were others here, I'd be able to stay more on a script, what we're talking about, stay focused. I believe that at the same time, it's a very difficult thing to remember 6 different items that have popped up, that have branched out, you know? I mean, if the tree starts growing and a new branch comes out, and then out of the branch comes little branches, or stems, and then leaves come, and then flowers comes, and then a fruit comes. But I forgot the tree is still growing, and at the same time it's happening all over, but the trunk is still going up. And as the trunk goes up, which is like one branch, and it splits out to other branches, and then it splits out to other branches. Okay, so we were talking about 111. Let me show you again. 111. I forget what they called this. Okay, so we're going to look at it again. So what's going to happen is 6, 5, 3, 7, 8, 1 to a single digit. So I brought it down here to a single digit. But before I get on, I remember what we were talking about. I was talking with the single digit that goes in between. If you're marking 2 numbers like 0, 1 instead of just 1 that was written, I would show you this as 2 sides, the 0 side and the 1 side. Now, what can the 0 side represent? The 0 side can represent all plateaus. It can represent all mirrors. 4 corners can make that 0. This is where the window comes in and creates 88. Or does it come in where this comes in? Where there's a donut in the center. Is that the 0, or is this the 0 when we can create the window of 88? The window of 88. A, B, C, D, 10. Or how about the EF, the other 2 sides of the cube? EF equals to 11. Windows 10, Windows 11. 1899. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. I just figured it out now. That's 1899. What is 8? 8 is what is. That goes around the core, the Nassau core. 8 is what is, okay? That is the face, sorry, the face of the core. But what is not the face is 20. Sorry, let me move this over. So what we have is we have 8 face, and then what we have around 3, 6, 9, 12. We have 12 around. So we have a total of 20, 12, knowing we're talking about one face. This also represents purple, 16, 4, 8, and 12. The reason I marked 4, 5 over here is because if I was to mark this is 156 moons passing when 12 years pass for the female bat mitzvah. It's the color of purple, which is the 88 window, because when you play the game of pool, right, and you have 15 balls, you have 717 in the game of pool. Now the question is, should we be skipping over one of these 7s because of the day of rest, because of the 6 points for the touchdown and the 1 point for the extra point, the only time it can happen? Can it be an understanding of the 6 days and the 1 day of rest of the 5 weekdays, and now we have the weekend? So we have the weekend in Venus. We have a sunny day, day 30, sun 54, Pluto, our birth, 84, which is 3 by 28 cycles of the moon, or 4 by 21 dots on a cube. I like to run everything off of this or this, or maybe we can put some numbers to here, or maybe it comes in with the whole formation over here. Notice the way Earth, 9 lives of the cat, Mars is the dollar sign, even says 51. The 8, in what state are you? That's the star system. But on the keyboard, you can see it's going north and south, this line. So it spins. 4 spins around 1. So that 1, if 4 spun around 1, we can also go the 4 sides of this paper to the 2 sides we write. So when it's spinning like the record. So this is what we get this to the game of pool. And it's for area space of teen, because 4 times 4 equals to the 16, and 4 by 4 equals to the 8. And this is where phi comes in. The automation of the understanding of where 3 and 4 is. We have 3, and then we have 4, and it's 180 degrees in order to get there. I can't go to there unless I take this dice cube and I flip it upside down to the other way. It's a 90, 90, 180, 90, 90 is the rotation. IR 54, love, sun. I think birth is 57. Or is it breath? Yes, breath. Because the only difference in earth is the B, EARTH. And the only difference with heart is to move the H from the back to the front. In the he art, number 85, the heavens of creation, 8 and 12. Although it's 8 and 5, it's 8 and 12. I have to explain that. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 is what will create 3 and 2, 5. So I'm using that formation. But this is 8 and 5, which is silver matrix in the house of Bet Venus. 8 by 12 is 96 and 20. And I never liked that number 116 because it's the house of the queen. 96, if I can remember correctly, I think is the month of February. Is it February? I have to learn how to spell that. 11, 12, 13, and 39 is 52, 53, 61, 71, 81. No, 25. Let me look that up, how to spell February. How do you spell February? 11, 12, 13. Whoop. Spell February.
F-E-B-R-U-A-R-Y is spelled F-E-B-R-U-A-R-Y.
Okay. So let me take that, copy it, and I'm going to go here. And, oh, I got to go check my, I'm trying to go fast. I got to slow down a little bit. Got to slow down, okay? And we got it 96 right there. There's 96. And UA is in between R and R. So it's between the 360, the 180 degrees in each one between U and R. I'm going to try and explain that. I have to go take that thing off the stove. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. And the reason I said that, right? The reason I said that is because I see two of the same letters. It's in between those two letters. It's like a beginning. It's like the two ends, like bookends. Now, like I said, 180 degrees is if I can go from here to here, that's 90 degrees. If I leave it on this angle, this is the 45 degrees. This is the 45 degrees, 90. So how many times do I have to turn? I go from here. 45 is 1. If I'm going by 45s, that's 2, 3, right? I got to move it from here to here. 1, 2, 3, boom. I'm on the other side, 4. So if I'm moving just to the next side, I'd be here. This would be 1 move, okay, 2 moves. So it's 2 moves to every side. So I got to go and move 2 to this side and then 2 to this side. Now I jump to the other side of the dice, of the thing. So that was 4. So now I have to go 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I have to go 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If I understood correctly, and I did this correctly, I have to make 14 moves to make a rotation. And then if I jump back to the other side, okay, I have to do 15 and 16 moves, and then 17 and 18 moves, and I've moved this entire cube. Let me explain it again. I'm going to show you with this. In order to go from 1 to 2, it's 1 move. Call that 90 degrees. In order to go from 2 to 3, I move 1 move. Call that 90 degrees. You can disagree. Now, I want to move from 3 to 4. Okay, I'm going to show you something on the other one. Here's 4, right? Here's 3 and 4. Now, all I have to do is do that. So it's a full move. I have to move twice. So I'm counting my movements that if I was to put a cross of these all the way around, because it's in order to block this, it's not blocking on a flat, it's blocking on a point. Gearing system and movements for gears, how they go in between the what do you call it? Like the Jetsons, sprockets. The sprocket company wasn't there for anything. Everything that was ever created for us, we have to use that to go back in time for its creation, from where it came. So the movement from 3 all the way to 4 is 180 degrees. So I go from 1 to 2, 90. From 2 to 3, you see each one of these, I should go from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3, from 3 to 4, from 3 to 4, from 4 to 5, and from 5 to 6, and then from 6 to 1. That was 12 in counting in reality, because each one is its situation in its own. You got to take out the pen and mark it. You're not going to just leave it and continue it. I mean, it's like writing a sentence and not putting the comma down or the period. And of course, every time you have a period, right? How does language and writing work? Because every period runs by the 28th cycle of the moon. So anyways, we're gonna run this now. Okay, from 1, we're gonna go over to 2. So we're gonna go click 1, click 2. Now we're gonna run over to 3. So we're gonna go click 3 moves. Whoop. Click 3 moves, click 4 moves. So now we're going to go 3, okay, over to 4. Click 5, click 6, click 7, 8 clicks to get over to 4. Now 4 has to go over to 5, okay, which is now 8, which is 2 clicks, and 5 over to 6, which is another 2 clicks. So now we got sweet 16. Now, in order for 6 to go back over to 1, or should we go backwards, back to 5 to 4 to 3? Let's go backwards. No, we're going to go forward to 1 now. So for 6 to go over to 1, we can cross through 2, 3, 4, or 5. 2, 3, 4, or 5. So that's a mathematical situation in itself, besides the 1 and 6 becoming the spirit of 76, the spirit to the DNA. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6, 6, 7, 7, 6. The soul, the water. Freedom 55 in the sky system passed through the sun. So we're going to go backwards now. So we're at 6 and we have 16. We have 16. Now we're going to go click 17, click 18, click 19, click 20. Did I get that right? I think we got 20 on this one. Let me check it again. Click, click 2, 4. So we got 8 over here. Then we went 8. Then we went 10. Then we went 12. And we're on this. So we did 12. No, it's 16 to get back to the other side. I think that's what we got. Did I get that? 8 and, well, 8 and 8, 16, right. 8 and 8, 88 is the gate. The gate in Pegasus. The word purple is 88. Also to know, I mean, this is a while off since I talked about this, the 8 face not counting the 1 center with the 12 around it. So we have 2012 to understand this cube. So we have 2012 on one side. We have 12 and 8 on one side, 12 and 8 on the other side. So we got 24, and then we got 8 and 8 is 16. 24 and 16. 24 and 16, the division between day and night. 24 and 16 equals to 40. Did I get that right? Right. Then we have the 8, that 8 over here, right? In between, because I'm not counting the centers. Not counting the centers. So I'm counting 8 and 8 and 8. There's 3 8s. And then on the outside, okay, let me see, did I get that right? There's 3 8s, 8 around here, 8 around here, and 8 around here. I'm not going to count the 8 around here, 8 around here, 8 around here, the 8 around here, 8 around here, 8 around here, because the reality of this is it's 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, right? 24, 24, 24. That is the gateway. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 passes through the 7th gate. So there's, over here, you're going to have 8. Then over here, you're going to have 8. Then over here, you're going to have 8. 3. Did I get that right? Sorry, 12. 12, 12, 12, 36. Wow. It's 8 and 8 on the top and the bottom. So your 36 gate to 8 and 8. So 36, right? Total becomes 8, 9, 8. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8 creates that equation. Purple is 88. We were talking about 6. I'm just trying to figure out, right, P16. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out, right, the 16. Okay, it's the total of 16 because it's the 4 and the 12 ball that come together. This is the game of pool, right, where the 4 and 12 come together. We were also talking, I was also had number 38 that came out in there. I'm just trying to remember how 38 came out because that's number 38. It's the 8th finger from the left hand over to the right. So if you're going left, okay, you're also going to be coming from blue. It's going to be cold, and it's going to be a boy. If you're coming from the right, it's going to be a girl. It's going to be the devil. But they're both, you can have the blue devil and you can have the red devil, because I know in basketball, that's what they tell us, right? So you have the blue and the red devil. It's girl, usually it's pink with white, but it's also hot because it's red hot. So when it's red hot, you're number 27, the gate in the house of Bet. Hot is number 43, cold is 34. You put them both together, hot and cold, red and blue, you end up with purple, 88. 88. RIP. The divided house in the sun. 3 times 18, 54 sun. Rest in peace. How about pi? You can also say pyrite, right? Like fire. So I do that. Rest in peace. And the reason I wrote that is because when you take out the deck of cards, right? When you take out these cards, right? By the way, this is the 55th card. It's play by the rules. That's your freedom. Play play by the rules. The 55th card, bicycle card games, and it tells you different card games, right? Dealer's choice poker, and it even tells you inside the game. You see if I can get this closer. It even tells you that bicycle official rules game comes from Matrix. It's the Holy's rules of the game comes from Matrix. When you get your bicycle poker official rules and games, 550, that is your Sky Pass. When you get 150 ways to play, you're now in the quarter house of Mars. Pinocchio's number of game, 55. And here, EIEIO family card game, you are now on the farm. In the bicycle card games where you have dealer's choice, you notice you have official rules and card games, and now you have all 7 5s. This is all male and female, okay, running through the moon right now, and all the magic and the solitude, okay. Now the question is, what are all the games meaning? So you have 6-handed 500, so that can be the 50-yard line. 500 is also the mirror world because it is the letter D in Roman numerals. 799, the gateways that are in Jupiter. Jupiter that divided everything apart, okay, at L. Because if you look at this letter, L, and it always bothers me, it's a wing, right? But when you look at it, you can see the dimension of it. Where is it? See the way we can see the dimension, how it's you can draw it that way, or we can draw it that way, and there's a dimension to it. I'm just trying to see how we can draw that dimension to it. Now I'm trying to see if I should be making it bigger so we can understand the road that's going with it, because I believe that all our alphabet is a skeleton. So let's try that again. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3. So 5 and 3, right? The fifth one and the third one, they meet at the corner. So now if I want to create this road, I'd be creating this road over here. So since you're meeting at the corner, you notice the way it runs in. It could be the R, it could be the letter B, and we're going to run off in that direction, right? And now you have your letter L, right, going through that little tunnel over here. So all the letters, they all do something different, even the numbers. So I got this answer from here. So now 99 is Jupiter. Well, 66. First of all, let me just show you that 5 and 5 is the invert to 9 and 9, to where 6 and 6 is the invert to 88, the house planet. Where do I get my information from? There's no questions being asked, but I'm going to hopefully come back to where I am. I have to go to the kitchen for a minute. My information comes from games. The information I just told you right now, the 6 and the 8, is where the 6 and 8, the queen, the game, the card. What we're missing is 62 for purple. NGC, the square planet of Pegasus. Square also 81 for Venus. 9 by 9, 9 plus 9 equals to the same numeric value. The value that turns this dice cube upside down from the head over to the tail. To notice you don't have two heads on a body. You need an in and an out for everything, it seems, almost. And round and down. Otherwise, you got to keep it oiled up inside. So now your other 6, right? Now your other 6 is, let me see. So now your 3 and 5 come together. When that comes together, electric company, 4 and 2 come together, the gateway, 86. 8 and 2, 6 and 4. 7 and 5. So 7 and 5, 57, the moon, direct current. Now, where do I get all these numbers from? I like to use the base that I was taught. There's many bases, although there's many bases, and it's right here. And it's I was thinking that this is a year. Now, what happens? What month is this? This is March. We'll have 31 days. Give March number 7. Give April a number 4. Give February a number 1. There are 7 months of 31 days, 4 months of 30 days, and 1 month special of 28, although all the months have 28 days. It's just there's 7 months times 3 extra days, and there's 4 months times 2 extra days. And the calendar shifts because of the leap year. Also the cube, to understand that the entire amount of dots on dots is 9, plus the area of the cube in the beginning and the end. 1 and 9 is 10. The extremity of the cube, 1 and 9 is 10. A, B, C, D noted that you only need the 4 corners for a builder's measurement, that Moses and Noah and Jesus all had something to do with architecture. So inside would be tet. Hebrew has a special counting for tet, inside an area space of 9. And after that, it's yud, counting one face plus another. Yud in Hebrew counting. So I get my information from what they've given to us. I have to go to the kitchen. I'm hoping I'm not going to forget. I'm going to also, so when I was telling you the opposite of 6 and 8, I'm running that through how they use the 2 dice through the 7th gate. Otherwise, it's 3.5. 3.5, the middle of DC. So the house of DC, which is 3 and 4, direct current, Washington, DC. That's the primary with 1 cube. After that, it becomes 6 and 8, and then it says house planet. 68 is house planet. The mathematics and the word cat, or 5 and 9, in which divided everything up, are birthed into the E world through alpha beta creation, 1 and 2, where 1 and 2 will always come together to create 3, or 2 and 2 will come together to create 4. But in that reason, you are going to have 2 cubes, and the invert of 2 and 2 is going to be 55 to 22. 22 representing ape, representing monkey, representing starting with 12, but getting a monkey to bust out at 22 from blackjack, which is 21. 2 and 1 equals to 3. 2 times 1 equals to 2. 2 and 3 equals to what is 5. The beginning in the E world to the student of 7, 11 to the gateway. Okay, I'm gonna jump onto that. Let me go into the kitchen for a minute. I have 2 things to do. I don't want to lose my realm. Once I'm into it, you're absolutely right. 6 is a base, and we're gonna start the alphabet on 6 instead of starting the alphabet on 1 and the heavens that are round. A rest on the 7th day. That was actually the first day because it ended up over here. And if we drill a hole inside of this, we get the 6 points for the touchdown, for the 1 point of the convert, because once we have arrived, this is the only 7 in the spirit of 76. And 6 in dots does not look like the 9, because the 9 inverts to a 6 when you write it. But when you see it in dots, it doesn't seem to do it, although the complete face is 9, so that when you're talking 9, the maximum and your created world is your 6 and 1 9, not your 1 and 8 9. Your 1 and 8 9 Resh, the house of Resh, the Third Reich, creation. Everything comes off its reality. This is 1 and 8. This is 2 and 7. The gate is in Beit to Resh, the heavens of one spirit, living in the house of 6 9. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3. B Gates, Bill Gates. Bill Gates, not Bill Gates, Bill Gates. You want to go out, Kitty? You want to go out, Kitty? You want to go out? I let you out. Okay. Come on. Okay. And now, I was just working on this earlier or a couple of days ago. So many things, I can't get them all done. Is understanding the club, understanding the triangle, understanding area space. Understanding area space. Just 1 second. Here we have one triangle. It's in a 1 by 1 area space. Here, it's 2 by 2. It's a 2 high by 2 wide. And then here is 3. And then here we can invert 1 into this one over here. So if we're talking where the mirror world comes out, well, I don't want to ruin that one. We're going to just do it this way, if you don't mind. So in this one, right, now we have A and we have D inside of this one. In this one over here, oh, that's the same one. I didn't want to do that. Okay. Now in this one over here, look at that. Right? I can put B inside C. Can I put A? Did I do that right? No, I think I did that wrong. Yes, I did that wrong. This is A can go inside C and A can go inside B, and I'm messing everything up going too fast. I get a little confused sometimes, a lot of times. I don't want to ruin these. We're going for size first. I don't want to ruin these. Okay. So this one can go inside here. So we're going to do that and that. Okay. Now in this one over here, we can get A and B inside of C. But in B, we only can get A. So in D, we can get A, B, and C. So we have A, B, C inside of D, and D becomes the mirror. Now I can bring them both together if you like. And at the same time, if you want, if you take a good look at that, right? The elves in Santa were wearing that. And once you remove A, this part over here, right? I'm not sure how high I should go, right? Once you remove that part over here and do that, now you have one part, okay, of either the hexagon or the octagon or the pentagram or whatever you want to call that. And at the same time, if you take a look at the deck of cards, I'm not sure if I have the cards, right? That, okay, no, except for the queen, because the queen runs at a 45-degree angle. Yes, here it is, the jack. The jack wears it. And where is that point? It's inside of us. There are things that are inside of us, 9 plus, or other things. That's the other thing I wanted to mention, that we have to remember the difference between 9 and 10, between Yud and Tate. Inside, it's Tate. Okay, that's what I believe. Outside, it's Yud. So when we come into this game, I'm going to do this after. Maybe I need a new book or not. I hope I don't forget that. Let's continue on with this. So now this is what happens when we remove, well, which part did I remove? Which part should I remove, right? Should I remove this part? This part over here, right? Which is B, right? Fits inside what is CD, 2, 3, 4, or 4, 3, 2. And what's missing is A. So the hat connects to what's inside the body, and this covers the crown. So that's these images. At the same time, we're going to go for size now. I don't want to talk about letters, because if I'm going to talk about letters, and pending how I shift this, right, we can talk about A, B, C, D. Well, what is A, B, C, D? Well, it's right here. A, B, C, D. Take off the point it that way. We got a D. Oh, sorry, it's not a B. Okay, not unless we divide it. But the A, B, C, D, when we use the crown over here, we take that as the C. So to create this letter, it's D and C, that is A, and A is one part of B. Actually, I don't think I should look at it that way, because that's not exactly what B is. I have to do something else for B. It seems like, okay, that in order to get B, D was duplicated. It's almost like A, B, C didn't exist. It actually all started by breaking up D, breaking up what I know as the mirror world, or breaking up 100% into 60%. As A, B, C, and knowing that a whole of 1A, okay, a whole of 1A, a whole of 2, a whole of 3. It's a complete area space. Although you see this, look at it as this. There's 9 area spaces encompassed in 1. And when it gets encompassed, it's automatically 6, because there's a top and a bottom. There's a top and a bottom, and there's 4 sides. The basic cuts like a knife, right? You're not cutting a piece of cheese like this. You're not cutting anything like this. You're cutting it straight or on an angle in one way or another. So this is your, where was I with that? Your 6 areas. You're taking off your cap where A is here. Everything is run on the 45-degree angle, and this is the hat of the queen. We run in the heavens of the queen, and the queen is 8. The reason why the queen is 8, because when you look into the deck of cards, she has all her eyes. The queen has all 4 eyes on all her sides. One second, I need another book. So the queen has all her eyes. Let's call the queen Venus. Queen has 8 eyes. But you were talking about the triangles, and the angle of the crown is for the queen. We're also talking about Tet and Yod. I was also talking about Rubik's. And by the way, Rubik's is number 74, which is also energy. Now, when we use a number, we can go 4 sevens or 7 fours. So it's also Jesus. It's also 7 by 4 equals 28, the cycle of the moon, and the cycle is 7. So it's actually all regarded as 1 and 6, 7, 2 and 5, 7, 3 and 4, 7. Noting that the minute I get to the next one, if I would go up to E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I get that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when I go to E, right, if I split C, I am now on the outside of the channel. And you can't go on the outside of channel. We have to work in the channel. This can only be broken up here, and then here, and here, and then here. So here's your A, here's your C, A, B, C, and here's your E. So this is what the E would look like. And more or less, we now have an angelfish. And what I remark as an angelfish is also to understand these lines, because when you're drawing these lines, this one splits the box in half. This one is dragged between 2 boxes. So in order to get a whole, you have to go 1, 2, 1. And at this point, you now create what is your hexagon, or what they go curling with. When you go curling, you use one of these, and then at the top, they got like one of these jacks in order to roll it, right? These handles in order to roll it on the ice, because we are playing the game on ice. This is hockey. We're in the middle of space. So now we had the 5. So by having the 5, we know that 3 fit into the center. We know A, B, D fits inside of E. So D and E. So I have to understand D and E. And now I would have to go to F. So you would have 3 lines, and then you would have 3 over here. So now we have actually reflected this whole piece, and the whole piece gets reflected at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now we have full reflection. So now if I wanted to create something else, I'd be creating it off of this area space. Each one, now how would we break down the dimensions? 6 by 15 equals to 90. So we have to do it twice. So 90 is 180, and that's what our half size is, building height. Now I'd put the other one over here. So now we're going to go to size area space. Okay, I'm going to just stop for a second. If you want to say anything, oh, hey, don't, how's it going? Or Greg, okay, if you want to ask me anything, I only work with, I try to do my best to make sure it only makes raw sense. Is you wrote R. Shaw truth. Raw sense. You just can't get away from it is or it's not. Like I'm going to ask you, how many white dots do you see on the entire area space of the 6 sides, right? The blank on the back holding up for what's in the front. Does that mean the blank doesn't matter? One area space. We count one side for 6 sides. We count one side for 6 sides. The 6 sides are the holder of the secret. I just want to go warm up my coffee. Okay. In our first area, the only thing that can happen is a single line will protrude onto the voided area space. Where do we call it our first cell? Our first cell within an interior space. So Aleph is within an area space. Here we can extrude from our area space. And your first line comes in. So now what happens? Our first area space, here it is, 1. When you go to B, you're going to get 4 quarter areas and 2 half areas, 5 and 25, or 50 and 25. Understanding the area space. Oh, and I didn't finish this. ABC is 60. Add D, the mirror world, in which I call the mirror world of 10J, Jack, is actually the creation is in Mars, and everything has been broken down into Earth. Because when you begin the countdown at 20 or T minus when you begin that countdown. But usually it's T minus, but they end up saying 9, 8, 7. So they're starting at Yud. T minus counting 10, 9, 8, 7. You follow what I'm saying? So they're saying that's that 10, 20. That's your relationship with 30. So everything is starting from D, but your D, okay, your runner-up is your equivalent to what is J, your DJ. A, B, C, D equals to 100%. So did we add on 40 from 60 to equal to 100, or did we remove it? because we still haven't understood or learned what it means to count what is 19. If you want to look at it, we can look at it as bookends, put 1 here and 9 here, and in between becomes the word man 28, or it's the cycle of a moon, which is 4 by 7 equals to 28, or 8 times 3.5. This is your gateway, your 3.5 to the DC house. Where are we with this? Yes. Okay. So let's go back. So now when we're counting the Star of David, first I have to learn about area space. So here I get 4 and 2 is 6. Here in the C house, I get 12, okay, of what is a quarter, 3 by 4 areas, the 3 single areas. 1 and 2, 3, 3 and 3. The house of Christ, C of creation, C19, the crown. Lodging. Now, when we come to the house of D, the mirror world includes all the worlds in them. So in this world over here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 6. You have 24 divisions in the house. And then 4 by 1, 1, 1, and 1. 4 times 1. You have a total of 28. So in the cycle, we run by the cycle of the D mirror planet. We're running by Mars. And of course, DJ, I like to think that we're counting Jupiter, the births of Jupiter. And I'm assuming for some reason we are Jupiter. We are Jupiter, Mercury, Pluto, A, E, and I. Just give me a second. My water's boiling. I don't know. It doesn't run very good. Right. I just spilled on the floor. Doesn't matter. Okay. Let's get back to these triangles. If you have any questions, do not hesitate. Please participate. Easier for me to think. So here we have 6 and 4. 8, 6, and 4 in the mathematics. So right away I see 8, 6, and 4. 86 million miles, or the diameter is the size of the sun, I think it is. 8,006,864, the size of the sun. 864, something to do with the size of the sun. I also know the seconds in a day. I also know 6 times 1,440 minutes in a day is going to equal to that. I also know that 3 times, right? 2 parts of what is a touchdown. 3 and 3 is what your touchdown is, mass. So 3 times 1440 equals to that vibration. I forget that very important vibration. If you add on 1 more 1440, it becomes this, which is the reflection of the year 2000 reset. So just 3 times equals to this, and the mirror creates a reset at 2000. Hebrew moon time compared to the time we run right now. The year 2000 reset, 5775, electric direct current moon to the half-life of the spirit is 76. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, 3 and 2, 5. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 equals to 3 and 4, 7. I'm just trying to think of what numeric value comes to here. What comes to number 6? 1 and 5, 6. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5, 1 times 6, 1 times 7. 1 time, yes, yes. 1 times 7, the gateway. 1 plus 7 equals to 7 equals to 8 equals to 15 equals to 6. So this one would get 17, 13, and 12. Or you can do it the other way around. So the minimum count would be 42. 30, 42. That would be your 42 pass, and your pass is inside the moon. Numeric 57 equals to moon. It also equals to a gateway pass, because when you create this or this, okay, this or this, hold on a second, or this. You see, in this one, you only have one reality. In this, you have another. So we're going to take out the cube and show you one of them is here, and the other one is here. Or if you want, we can go, what is the invert? The 5 is the 2. The reason for that is we can mark up all these places here, correct? Or if we want, we can look at it as the 6, because either it's this way and it's got this empty, or it's this way and it's got that empty. This is the Mars. This is the Mars, because I'm using 4 of them. I could be using just one of them to describe it, but I'm using this area space because I can use 9 dots in 4 areas. So again, I question my 9 dots to my 9 donuts, the empty space. What is this? The 2 can go that way. You see the line is going that way, or the 2 can go that way to the 2 that's going that way. Where do I use 3? I can use 3 in this situation. See that? I'm going to make another one of those, but I'm going to do it a little different. See, I put 2 of these together, and then it created 3 voided areas over here. And now if you connect those voided areas together, you end up with the cube from 2 hearts, which was the same thing 2 minutes ago as when I drew the 88. So let's go back to all these squares over here. So you have, in this area over here, you have 15. Numeric value for Mars, creation of alpha beta. Here's the beginning of its creation right over here. Here's that beginning of that heart. This is the first time that heart can create. Now the next area will be over here, but you do notice because of this area over here, okay, I would like to darken it in. And let me see, that was the first section. Oh yes, I'm only going to darken in a half space. Here I'm darkening that space. In this one, if I reflected, it would be Earth. In this one, if I reflected, it's going to be Mars. Why? Because it's going to have a window. Did I draw up that window before? I'm going to show you that Mars also explains, because the direct version, invert, M is N, N, A is Z, R is I, S is H. To create that, we're going to take the 4 letters. We're going to take the letter N, and we're going to take the letter Z. N and Z come together. Now we're going to go ahead and take the letter H. Now here comes something different. Okay, if I was to create my first I, I'd be creating my first I with a number 2. 2 by 9 equals to 18. Because 2 is also noted to be 2 dots of Venus. The reason for that is because I need a passage over here. So when I create the H and I, I'm going to have to create it like that. So now you can question, is that the way the E world comes in? The E world showing from this side and then showing from that side, or the other way we're going to create the H and the I, okay, in a not a minimum space, because if I was doing it in a minimum space, I would be like that. And that would be the Earth way. because the Earth way, there's always separation. But in the Mars way, it's always perfect. Here we would have the I, and then here we would have the H. So now we would go over here, we would go Mars, and when we use the letters H and I, and then I would go Earth. And did I get that right? See, N and Z can be done inside an area space. So we can get 4 NZs inside of here. See, I'm just trying to understand the area space right now. To understand what the letters do in an area space. With H and I can't do that. But with the N and Z, I can create it in one area space, but not with the H and I. So one area space, that would be Earth, and then this one would be Mars. High. So I like to just go like that, Zion. So since this is inside the house, I want to count that as the 9 lives. I'm going to count that for Tate. Now, I still didn't finish with the explanation of the area spaces, nor did I finish most with anything else that I started. What was DC? What did I? Oh, no, this was from before. Okay. So now we go up to 4. And after we get to this one over here, it all stops. To complete it, we come over here to this area space where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this one you would call T. Actually, it's bowling. But it's called 10 pin. Like the pin code, 25, 10 pin. They're both number 39. 16 and 9, 25 and 14, 10 pi n. 10 pi n. 10 pi n. Net nip. I'm just trying to understand that a little bit better. And not only that, that 45 is your passage through the foxhole. Because when you add up, I'm just trying to look where my face is. When you add up all these numbers here, they're going to total 45, and the average is going to be 5. And the area space between all area spaces of 9 area spaces is going to be over here. So the 9 or the 1 passes through the 8 heaven. So the minute the 1 comes through the center area, it picks up, it comes into the 8 heaven. So it's always enveloped by 8 all the time. In fact, it's developed by 88 all the time, and its waist is 8. And its life is inside on the spindle, the same spindle that NASA uses, or Mona Lisa, NASA, limo, NASA. So now if we get to the Star of David, depending on which size star, we have to understand that if we're going to do 2 triangles, okay, the first formation of triangles will not create you anything but this scenario over here. And in this scenario over here, you will have actually 1, 2, you will have 4 times what is a triangle 3. You will have 1 times a 4 area space. At the same time, if we enclose the whole thing, if we understand it, we'll have X and X supporting on top. But I don't want to get into the entirety because it's questionable. And then we can split the center by 4. But we can't split these areas over here, so we can split it. And when we split it, we're automatically splitting Mars to Earth, Earth. Because only in a single area can we create this X. Unless we're going to use 4 areas. Well, now you have 4 times single areas in order to do it. So now you have a major X to the X's inside. And it really doesn't have to look like an X. It can actually just be an O. Right? You can just make it as an O, but at the same time, you can make it as an X. So if you did the O to the X that way, you have 1X over here, 1X over here. Now you got 4 X's. So now you have 4 X's plus you have a major X. But at the same time, you now have 4 times 0 area space. Every area space has an average of 5. So you'll have 20
And here you'll have 20 plus 5. So you'll have 25 and 20, and then the letters T and Y come together, the gateway divide into the house of Bet and the sun. So your Star of David now, if you would be creating your Star of David, where did we go? Oh, yes. I was doing that one. I don't want to do that one. I want to do, we're going to do that one again. And to show you the same thing happens, I cannot create the Star of David this way. It almost looks like I'm using stilts standing on top. When I do that, I get more or less 808, like in the bicycle cards. So we're going to have to go to 3 areas to see what happens. And when we go to 3 areas to see what happens, we have our first star. But if you notice, the star is tilted to the right. Doesn't it look like it's tilted to the right? Well, it seems like all energy is slightly tilted. So we're going to go and let me see. I'm looking for something right now. Here. When you look in this one to G and H on the right over here, it seems like it's tilted to the right, but the point is not as far right. Okay, well, we can just turn the image. What this is this is 1, 2, 3, all the way to 9. This is the Tesla vortex of the number setup, except they were used a little bit different. I connect 1, 4, 7 with 3, 6, and 9. Okay, 1, 4, 7 with 3, 6, and 9 tilted to the left. Okay, or open to the right. Looking at the piano, center C, 29, 24. The 53 is a total matching of 52. And then over here, over to the right, right and left.
So now if I'm going to talk about right and left, again, I'm going to go to Republican and Democrat. And I'm also going to go to where it's better understood, where it couldn't have been a made-up word, or actually it could have been, to where the piano comes in. Now, number 53 or 35 is a huge number, 88, referring to the 7th gate at 42, where we use the 7, where we use the 10, where we use the 4. 13 is that 4. 22 is that 4. Busting out his ape. Go. Go 200 in Monopoly, land on it, it's 400, 10 times. Three lines in base model 33, yes. And the word gate, G-A-T-E, G-A-T-E equals to 33. Bill Gate, I hate losing all my stuff in my books. This is 33. 3 sides by 3 sides, where there's 3 by 3 area spaces on each side, but there's only a total, okay, of 26 plus 1 area space cubed, that in the center area, right? The center area holds 6 colors, to where there's 48 and 6, that the 6 colors fill the void of the empty space, okay, with the spindle that maneuvers this entire cube. So it's actually 48, ring, pole, buy and sell, Pluto, 3 cycles of 28, equaling to 4 times 21 cubes. You need 4 because there's 4 center areas, 4 and 2, number 42, your gateway. Yes, I think I got it. Bill 35, gate 33. So some numbers, and I'm not sure if they're odd numbers or even numbers, or how to count even. I'm not sure if it's the area space in between, but on the piano, when you go from left to right and right to left, when you meet at center C, this side is going to meet at 29 and this side is going to meet at 24. When 24 and 29 meet, you're on top of each other, because both keys are those numbers. So 2 and 4, 6, and 2 and 9, 2. So you have 2 and 6 coming together, or 6 and 2. So let me get back to where the Star of David is over here. Well, the Star of David in this one dimension is 33, but also the word mass is 33. also noted that 33, if we're going to talk in Hebrew, let me jump onto the Hebrew right now for a second. Okay, now in Hebrew, okay, you're going to say in Hebrew, yod, hold on, yod, 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 aleph, 11, yod, bet, 12, but it's 11 that creates 12 in numbers. Yod, gimel. Then you have yod, dalet as 14. So you're going 10-1, 10-2, 10-3, 10-4. This one, 104 communication. And where's your communication? 52, 26, 13, 6.5, 7, white, the blank sheet, 3. These, hold on, blowing in the wind, flow, and wolf. Created from 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 equals to 6 equals to 5, which is equivalent of 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 equals to 5 equals to 6. 56 or 65, we wear the crown. We become the kings inside what is 6 and 5, 11. It is your creation through Mars, the mathematics. And it represents the king. So right away it represents number 7 because the king, okay, has 3 suits by 2 eyes and 1 suit by 1 eye, equaling to 6, equaling to 1. So we have our 6 points and our 1 point for the conversion coming into the 6 days and the 1 day of rest, or the 5 days, and I wrote this down already, or the 5 days and the 2 days to the weekend. So the weekend is where Venus ties everything up. And if we're tying everything up in Venus, we're tying it up right over here. This is where it ties up into the alphabet between the first 13 and the last 13. The Mayans also have a count of 260. Well, this total is when you add 1 over to 26, it equals to 351. If you add 1 over to 36, okay, it equals to 666. And the difference is 315. That if I take away A, E, I, O, and U, it equals to 51. That if I separate the O15, okay, from A, E, I, U, it equals to 36. 3 times 6, 18. 3 plus 6 is 9. The rotation of the cube is 90 degrees and 180 degrees. And 3 by 6 is 18R. And 3 plus 6 is 9I. The total of 54. It's a reverse 2-letter count, creating the IT system of 18 and 11. K, R, 9 and 8, 1 and 2, 1 and 9, 8 and 2. Inside AI is our rotation inside the moon. What is all this? I took out the O letter because although it's an odd number, right? 15 is an odd number. It's a black number. 1 and 5 equals to 6. 2 and 1 equals to 3. 9 equals to 9. 5, 3. Each one of these in the deck of cards, okay, has an ace symbol. But the 7 does not. The 7 has a moon sign inside of it. It's in the center. The other one is over here. The ace sign, okay, this is 7, 8 coming together, where GH, 15, where Mars comes together. 6, 7, and 8. Mars brings in the child into the world through the IT system. Intel. 26 letters in the alphabet. 91 referring to spirit, if you like, but we can change it. 44 for teen or space. 47 for time or energy, or a lot of other words. So here's my 5-2 Earth Venus breakup. And then there's the 4-3 breakup.
in the days of the week where we'll use Wednesday as the hump day. So we'll go 3 days and 1 day and 3 days. So we're running 3 different cycles on the cube, wherever that word, what did I do with the cube? Yeah, so we're running 3 different cycles on these cubes, and this runs 3 different cycles. And then the 4th cycle becomes the leap year. But the alphabet, and I'm going to get back to the Star of David, the alphabet are our numbers, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. This is your 1, this is your 3, this is your 2, this is your 3. So this is actually the 1st, the 4th, and the 7th. So now if we go to our calculator, it's set up that way. 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9. So it's set up the same way. It's not set up with the mirror world involved, where it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. But AEI is what runs through this pattern. They come together, they separate apart. They come together, they separate apart, counting in the 3 formation or counting in the 4 formation. Now, I'm not sure if I'm all over the place right now because there's still a few things I haven't talked about. I still want to talk about that for a second. I just want to see where I missed something. Oh, it was right over here. See, when I count in the 3 formation, right, I catch up over here. 13 is in the A position, 14 is in the B position, 15 is in the C position. But in this formation, we don't have a D. D would come back to A, so it runs out, and then we pick it back up over here. Oop, there's somehow a mistake here. It catches up right over here. Well, not on that one. So 25, 26, 27, and then it separates again. And then it catches up to where it starts over again on 1, 2, 3 on ABC. If we start over again, this one would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So we would start over on ABC. So it would be A, B, C, then it would be M, N, O, and then it would be, we don't have a 25th, it would be Y, Z, and then if it was the regular alphabet again, it would be A. It moves and it interchanges. Anyways, that's to be discussed, this piece over here. I also did that over here. So, yes, so we were talking about this. I showed you the Tesla numbers. Just one second. Let me read the comments. Okay. Okay, well, quarter can relate to Q. It brings on the letter U, which is 21. The total is 38. 38 represents gold. 38 represents this finger. This is not the pole finger. This is the pole finger. So what do we call this? It's next to the pole. And we use these 3 when we go bowling. So I didn't even finish that formation at 10. Kaf. And if you look at the Q sometimes in design, it looks like there's a river passing through a circle. Sun on the horizon. Sounds okay. Horizon. Go, R and I come together. O and R. O and N come together. When O and N come together, that's the 14th and 15th letter. It's like sometimes I need to discuss because O and N come together, just like L and M come together in gematria. They meet. Whoop. Let me see. Okay. There's 2 ways to create this design. I didn't create it. I created it here. I'm going to use this one maybe. No, that still has separation. I don't want to use the one with separation.
Okay, we're going to use this one. It's much easier. Okay, so over here is 1 and 1. I think I should have brought these two together and not made a gap. I made a gap between them. I don't think I should have. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. But anyways, here's 1 and here's 1. Here's M and here's N. N and O are over here. L and M are over here. But when you have L and M, what it is I am going to have to write this down.
When you have L and M, I'm just going to build that scale up again. So this is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. But the reality of this is 5, this is 3, and this is 1. And then over here, I would have the other 1, and then 3, and then 5, and then 7. So this is the letter G, and this is the letter T, like the Mustang with all the power between the two. 13 and 14 are the averages 1, 3, 5, M and E, matter and energy, creating R. Also could be noted as the oceans. 1 and 3, 4, 1 and 4, 5. The numeric value for sun is 54. And it's showing me as well that the 13th and 14th letter also are more or less easier to create the word moon. So when we go up to 7 over here, what happened to 11? I was talking about 11 and 12. I mean 12 and 13 coming together. Well, the thing is that number 12, the female, the way we understand it, is connected right here. 12 connects both 11 and 13. And then we can just create this design the same way as 4 connects both 3 and 5. And now we have different levels of cube, almost like Cubert coming into the game. So this is, so on the reverse dice, I can't use 11, right? I'm going to use right now 5. So I see 5 over here, but what about the other side of 5? 9. So I put 9 over here, and this is 9. So where's 8? Where's 6? Six is here and over here. So the Star of David 6 would be right over here because we're talking 6 and 6, right? And we create our triangular motion inside of it. So where's 8? Well, 8 shows up that it's halfway between 7 and 9. And now you have 808, and you've connected your 7, 6, 6, and 9, where 6 is connected to 5, and 9 is between 5, that when you look at it, 5 and 9 are on the same row. Let me try to go a little bit slower and see if I can catch up to the questions. They all disappeared.
And also that when you create the hexagon, when you put a Y in the center of it, you turn it into a cube. And the hexagon is just part of is it part of 9 areas or 5 areas? Let me just do this. 1, 2. Oh no, the hexagon is part of 9 areas. You cannot make a hexagon smaller than 9 areas. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3, in which you have 5 complete spaces and you have 4 half spaces. Again, 5 and 4, splitting up the sun. Q, 1 times Q, 17. 2 times Q, 34. 3 times Q, 51. We've now entered to Mars. 4 times Q, 68. We now entered into the house. 684. 86,400 or 8,640 times 3 equals to 25,920, which is the numeric value for some Mayan cycle. I forget which one it is. Dalit 14, Dalit means door and is shaped like a triangle. That's fantastic. Dalit equates to the delta angle. Yes, alpha, beta, a gamma, delta. Delta 4. Yes, I started like that too. Door is 4, door is floor, for the door in the floor. I like that. So Mars is the fire element. Mars in Aries, all rise. Right? In Aries, all rise. Syria, Aries, Turkey. Fire, 6 and 9. Fire starts with 3 times 3, 3 plus 3, 6 and 9. And I is an R equaling to 54. So it is your basic circle. Your 360 degrees comes from the sun. Well, according to the numeric value, your breath, etc. Anyways, let me get back to 17. So also 6 times 17, okay, 6 by 17, 42 will create the cat gate. And I always refer to the cat as electric, okay, 42. And that is a separation between the heavens and the light, 6 and 8, which is 3/4 of what is 8. 6 represents the jack, because the jack only has 6 eyes. The queen has 8 eyes. The king has 7 eyes. 7 and 7 is 14. Boom, 14, numeric value. We're going to get DNA into the sun. 6 and 6, 12. We're going to get into the moon. And 8 and 8, 16. We're going to get into the half-life. The spirit is 76. So 17, 6 by 17 is 102, which is also noted to be Valentine's. It's also works into the 7th gate because both the 2 and the 10 are both blue. When they come together, they are your basic blue creation, 1 and 2. You need 1 and 2 to come together. So if you need 1 and 2 to come together, okay, as 2 and 10, then 10, okay, the 10 ball would go with the 9 ball, as like 1 would go with the 2 ball, but on the other side of the 8 gateway, or the Bill gate. The reason for that is Bill is 33 and gate, Bill is number, let me turn this over this page. I got 4 books open over here, so I don't think it's in this one. Could be in this one. It's not in this one. Just give me a second. I can just write it out again, you know. First of all, in the word bill, it's by. Starting with BI, starting with MI, starting with MED, it's the middle. Or it's both parts, or it's one part of. By, right? By or trans, like in transition, like in transmeditation, like in transsexual, like in transit, right? In transit. So by also is a representation inside of canine, which is the dog, which is the game. The reason for that is K is also 11 and 1 and 1 is 2 in basic numbers. It is number 3 in its own. It reflects its own, okay, in gematria, where K is number 3. And 1 times 1, 1 plus 1, where it is 11, recreates itself, and the letter combination of CKU coming together in F, because it equals to 6. FUCK just comes all together. At the same time, when you come into the house, you're coming into the house. I mean, I'm all over the place right now. So when you come into the house of K creation 11, you come in at birth 9. You see what it says? So when you come into the house, this house, the numeric value is 36, where you get your 18 and 9 that we spoke about before into your gateway, 42, the divided house, the mathematics,
will create that 4 by 17 equals to 68 or 41. Both the same. 6 and 8, 14. 6 by 8, 48, 62. So now we know where it went to. It went down to the queen. What's the difference between 6 and 2? There's a relationship to 1 and 5. Because when you start the game, if we can only count with one hand, we're going to go A, B, C, D, E, right? Or if you want, we can go B, C, D, E, F. If you count all the sides, there's going to be 4 sides and one side's going to be missing all the time. So in this one, we're missing that. And if you add the totals up to this, it's going to total of 15. If you add the total to here, we get the 20. So we get the T and O, or OT, or overtime. It's either this one or this one. It can't be both, although everything else is in between. If you have the 4 up, right, you're going to be skipping over A, B, C, E, F. So your total over here is going to be 17. And it's funny, the way into the house of Mars, you get now 17Q. Because 4 and 17 is 21. To the 6th house, where we ended with 6, we were missing 1. You add 1. Here, we were missing 6. Add 6. They're all going to equal to 21. It takes 4 formations to create your 3 cycles. 3 by 28 equals to 84. And 4 times 21 equals to 84. And that's your first formation of your passing moons. The leap year, 3 and 4, always DC. We always run into that light. And this mathematics is going to create separation between day and night and ape. Why? 8 by 4, 8 plus 4 equals to 44. The only other way to get that is 2 times 2 and 2 plus 2 equal to 44. So let me just take a little step and make sure I can catch up to like the 19 pages I've opened. L God as into, I've heard that very often, and L equals to 17. And now, is it L God or is it EI God? I can never really understand sometimes when it is written. I mean, because on the computer, that would be an EI. So I'm not sure if you wrote it as capital or not. And then even as in 7 is in even, and woman is 66. In evening, you're adding on the ing, okay, as adding on the cube in Mars. The reason for that is ing is 9 for I, and ng is 14 and 7, talking about the ring face. Maybe talking about us. Moon is both female and male. And yes, it comes out in the evening. Eve, N. Now, why would we pass Eve N? Is it because it's dark inside the sun, or is it the dark sun? Or is it the dark moon? 11, yes, but in 11, where did I write that? Yeah, I wanted to show you that in the word 11, okay, which is the K letter that creates this, also totals to 9 and says this inside of 11. 9, 11 is that. So let me, yeah, so in the word 11 is 9. Everything seems to pass through Mars. Everything seems to pass through Mars. Okay, L is short for L, it means gods. Okay, when I say the word Hashem, the first thing I think, heavens, okay, spirit elements, the divided elements of the heavens, Hashem. Hashem, C-H-E-M, for short for chemicals. Michael, short for chemicals. So one of the disciples named Michael is short for chemicals. And it's also short for the division of the chemicals through the E world. And the reason for that is because the letter M is 1,000 in Roman numerals. And to design the M, it's 1V1, meaning 4, 5, and 6, also using federation and death.
and deaf also meaning silent, the silent heavens of things that came in here that we have no idea of. Because how we see is because of the elements and energies that our eyes are capable of seeing, or our minds are capable of understanding, that the words we can speak for the words that we speak, for the great big eyes we have, so we know within the flow of the wolf, because it is the same word, is what is coming from beyond. Something that could never be understood, that can be understood, but would only be looked at as mythical or hypothetical, or can also be used as in, what do you want to call it? Hypothetical, as you're building something. Him, in the word him is also, let me write this down. See, I'm actually going to type it. And also, okay, so when I write Elo, wait, who wrote that? Okay, you wrote that. Germany fed birds. Yes, that's another one. Germination, right? The extra Y that was added on was dividing up of the planet. They added on the Y. You notice that the word 80, which is reflective of 6 on the cube, or the dividing gate, they added on the Y to change your 3-cycle Mars Earth hexagon into what is a cube, or if you want, we can cut off the corners, the octagon, the 6 sides, or the 10 sides. I don't know if I said that right. So here in Elohim, Elo, both T, Lo, Sun, creation, inside of creation of the heavens. And I look at I am as I am, and it's 9 and 13, and 13 is built from 10 and 3. 10 and 3, Jesus Christ. 103, September. 103, Earth 51, Mars, sorry, Earth 52, Mars.
103. Female, male, but this will turn into the female. And this is also created by 77, 86. Yeah, those are the two. 95. Those are the three. Inside of 95 are both of these, the divided house planet through Christ, or matter, because that is the number to matter. 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 8 and 6 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 9 and 5 is 14. So we have 42 that creates the house within. And it's a divided house, so we're going to call it 84. Now we have Pluto, the divided house, in which the division, okay, is 44. And in that 44, the mathematics will invert that 42 to 24 for the 24 hours a day, and the 2/3 and the 1/3 for the awake and asleep, bringing us to the gateway between the king and the queen, the 7th and the 8th. Cycle. So where are we right now? 103. Funny that Earth is number 52 and that Mars is number 51. And then you have 103, or how about just 13? And we're going to call that bar 12. In the game of craps says 2 games. In the game of crap, or in the game of craps, running through AI. Anytime I believe you add an S or an ES, you're running through AI. Now, is it S or is it ES? What is the add-on? 519 or just 19? Because if you're adding on 519, you're putting in 0, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 0, 2 through 8, 0. What does this mean? Well, when I go from 5 to 1, it's 4, 3, 2 in between. When I go from 1 to 9, I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then I have 1 and 9 on the outside. So this is 35, and those two add up to 10. To where my 2, 3, 4 add up to 9. So now I have what reason to use Yod and what reason to use Tate. So now I'm going to jump into that right now, which I jumped off, but just in case there's any questions, I also want to jump back into Elohim. If you read it backwards, it goes Mihol, Mihol, Mihol. M equaling to 4, 5, and 6, the Federation def. High inside is 89, which is Resh. 81, Venus and Resh, because H and I is the 8th and the 9th letter. They're also 1 and 2. 6 and 6 and 5. Right. H and I, although the 9th and 8th letter created by 1 times 8, 1 plus 8, okay, in gematria at the 7th gate, the cubic house, the house of Kaaba, okay, it becomes 6 and 5, which is the reflection of what is the word 7, of what is 11, that is Yo of Abba creation. It's Abba creation because there's Abba. 34 and 58 equals to 92. The word 1 equals to 34. The word 2 equals to 58. When you add them together, you get 92. You don't get soul because soul is 67. You get yellow, which is 92. You get black, which is 29. You also get 7 and 4 when added to a single digit. You get energy. You also get Jesus. You also get time. Here's the initials. The same time, you get 83. When adding to a single digit, 5 and 8 is 13. 8 and 3 is 11. Did I do that right? No, I'm adding the wrong ones. We're 3 and 4 and 5 and 8. 8 and 4 is 12, female, Pluto. The 3 and 5 is 8. Again, we're back to the cube again. Around the cube and the face of the cube without counting the spirit in the center. 6. This is 6 plus 48. It's also noted to be 20 plus 6 plus 1. What is all this? The 1 is the Holy Ghost. The 6 are the 6 sides to the 6 single colors that are located on the sides that is controlled by the 6th spindle. So the 6th spindle controls. So we have 1 and 2. Now there's other things that are happening with this, but let me see if there's any. So we did a little bit on Elohim and the total letter count for Elohim. Hey, McMac. So me whole, okay, M starting with E, okay, and I rather go backwards because it shows me 1,000, and actually it shows me 1,001. It also shows me 22 starting with 8, starting from right to left instead of from left to right. So if you're starting from right to left, the 29th key to center C is center C, and the 28th is just before you arrive. And therefore, that's a possibility of seeing the part moon or the whole moon where it crosses over into creation, where the earth moon crosses over into creation. Right now, it seems like it's on the other side of creation. Don't Finlays. Red Goo AI knows best. Why is Mars the ring finger? In tradition palmistry, the sun is said to be the ring finger. Well, right now,
what number is number 9? Because this finger is number 9. This finger is number 18. The reality base formation for digits. What is known to be a digit on a human? Are my toes digits? Are my toes digits? Just give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah. Are my toes digits? So if my toes are digits, I got 10. And I got 10. I got 20. Where's the 21st one? I don't know. Could it be my forearm? I got 4. Like if they're straight out, do I count it as 3 or in 2 parts? I got 5 and a part here and a part here. How should I count all this? How do I count my body? So let's just count with digits. Because if I just went to school, they taught us about digits today. They teach us about numbers or digits. Is it digits or numbers? Because if it was digits, I have 20 digits. So if I start with my toes, I got 10. Then I go to this hand over here, I got 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, I made a mistake. Oh, yeah, 19. So, wow, I must have made a mistake before, I think. Did I make a mistake? What number did I say? I think I made a mistake. This is the ring finger on the left hand. If I look at the piano, on the left to right, I get center C on 24, which means I go A, G, I go A, G, I go A, G, and then I go A, B, and C. So I am actually coming to where it's 21, 22, 23, 24, and I don't actually connect the final cycle or the final days of the moon. I must go across center C, okay, and go all the way over to G to complete the opening and the closing of the 28-day cycle of the moon. So we have to understand that center C, okay, in its 4th cycle only uses up 3 days compared to the 4 days that complete the cycle, which would be the transition where your 3 is turning into your 4, makes 2 moves, and then completes its 5 and 6 turning over. We spoke about this dice turning, right? Click, click. Moving for how many degrees? How many degrees? If we had to move this 36, right? If we had to move this 36, right? And I move this 90, 90, 90, 90, and this 90, 90, 90. It's got to move 3 times. I don't want to get into that right now. Too many numbers. I did that at the beginning, but I'm going to talk about. So now let's get to this hand, but I'm going to get my my hot water. Just give me let's see, a 1.5 minute break maybe. I have to bring my cup with. Corn Island. Corn Island. Just give me 1 second. Corn Island. Where were we? Yes. Okay. Don't forget about the. Can't forget about anything. Can't forget about anything. Gematria. This over here and this here is the same thing. Getting influxed right from the center moon, from the star system, into two mines. And then within the two mines, 101, one angle, and the other angle, right? What is the X10? What is the V? What are their usages? What can we use them for? What is the ACE all about? So this is finger number 2. Now don't forget, how do I get here? Well, first I have to say LH, left hand. It's easier than saying LF. Now that would be left foot. So F foot to H hand is 6 and 8. 6 and 8, house planet, the dividing of the gate. So now I'm trying to think, foot, feet, what if I have no legs? You have to work with a base and understand that base. Are my hands different than my feet? Connected together at the waist. What is below the spinal cord? So I'd have to go through this to put it in order. So now we have, this is number 2. It is also number 7. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8. No, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's also number 9. Wait a second. I got 5 toes down there. I got 10 toes down there. 11, 10 toes, 11, 12. So it's now number 12. Wait a second. I got 10 down there, 11, 12, 13, 14. So now it's 14. Hold on a second. I got 10 down there, 5 over here. That's 15. So now it's 17. I don't think I ever did it this good unless I made a mistake. But now I got 10 down there, and 5 over is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. But now we have to categorize it. We have to, like each number, like number 2, it's just on this left hand. And is it palm down? Am I counting from thumb to pinky or from pinky to thumb? And pinky to thumb, 1 and 5, Mars. 2, 3, 4 in between, your birth. 4 times 3, 12 times 2, the 24-hour day of the 9 birth, equaling to 33. 2 times 3 times 4 equals to 24. 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals to 9. And the letters are XE, X and Y, 33. X and I, X minus I, X plus I, equaling to 15 and 33. So again, back to Mars again. And anytime 3 and 4 is involved, see, it's not, it can't be 3, it can be 2 and 3 if we're talking in thirds, or we're talking in quarters. When 3 is related to 4, we'll be talking in quarters. When 2 is related to, when 3 is related to 2, we can be talking in thirds. How can I do this? 1, 4, or 7, our formation and running of this planet in months. 1, 4, 7 divided by 3 is going to equal to 0.33 to 1.333. So remember, 1 is on level in the center level, right? Or to 2.333. If we divide 2, 5, and 8 by 3, it becomes 0.666. Then 2, the house of 8. And in the house of 8, okay, and I don't know if we did this here yet, right? That in the house of 8, in the house of 2, we can never forget 7, 5, and 4. I'm going to tell you this in a minute, but let's get back to the fingers. So now, this is the ring finger. So we know it's on the left hand. We know it's boy. We know it's blue. We know it's cold. Now we have to ask a question, why? No, we have to know that it's demo. Where do I get this from? Well, left is Democrat, and Democrat is blue. Blue is related to cold and to boy. In the word yo, like for yud, but instead of a B, it's a D because it's a life, right? Here, the B, 2 heads,
down into one head, down into two heads. Boy, 13. So we have 25, 40, 42. Is that what it is? 25 and 15 is 40, 42 for boy. What's girl? You notice 3 letters and 4 letters? So this right here is 27, 34, 46. Wow, Zion Israel comes into the DC world. This is gonna cause the dark world, the DC. The reason for that is because this mathematics will create 10 and 24. 10 is a dark one. It also becomes 1 and 6, and this becomes a divided gate because of the mathematics. And the divided gate is in 14, and this numeric value will bring on birth and the sun pass. 54 and 55, 109. 1 times 9, 1 plus 9, which is your AI, which everything lives inside, which is also Tate Yod. And I was talking about Tate Yod, and I don't know if I lost my place. Yes, it was over here. But I'm going to look back at the questions, and am I going too fast? The sun is said to be the ring finger. Okay, we're going to have to get back to 54, 48, 102. Says love. Black or red, machine's blood, man's blood. Machine's blood. Hydraulic. The original hydraulic oil came out in red. I think we have to look at the oils where the oil came out. They used to call oil black gold also. Digits we use to dig it. Dig it, right. Oh, and when DI comes together, that is your 4 and 9 coming together. Okay, that is your base 4 and 9 coming together. The invert of 49 is 94, and when you split that in half, it becomes 47. Time, energy, Jesus, cross. So it's a crossover of energy. J for Jesus means there's a crossover in AI. When the bait world came in and brought with it the spirit. In blackjack or in 21, you have the 1 is inside 2. In this over here, you have 1 inside 2. That's your base creation, 1 inside 2. 5, 4 into the sun. And your base creation, BC. Numeric value for MAR, 32. When you add on AI, the S letter, which is also looking like a 5, adds to 51, 3 17s. And all we have is 2 and 3. The end result of 2 and 3 is going to be 2 and 9. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3. 6 and 5, 11. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1, 1 and 2. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2. Sorry, 6 and 5, 11. 6 times 5, 30. 30 and 11 equals to 41. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 equals to 5 and 4. 5 times 4, 5 plus 4 equals to 20 and 9, 29, the IT system. Not the AT system where you're at, but it's where you're at is in the I system where it becomes a dot on top of the line, the hexagon, the dot on top of the line, the hexagon. Now, the dot on top of the line can also be representing in Morse code, could be counting in Mayan, could be talking about Earth line and Mars dot. Read the ring finger. Remember the cartoon characters with 3 fingers, right? So did they have this finger or did they have this finger? Well, if they were counting the, what's it called? This is who they are. So it becomes the first and the last finger. There is no pinky. There is no pinky. But we actually, if you look at a cat, I mean, at 3 fingers, we would only need these 3 fingers. But is that too much of a space? Or would we be better off doing it like this and having no center finger except for the 2 here? It'll be the 2 fingers over here. So just for a better understanding of, should we be using this thumb for ABC? Or should it be separately? So if I can better understand that situation. Yes, planet is the Saturn with rings. So what does the word ring? Rings, more than 1 ring. So if it rings, someone's calling.
Hello, I hear the phone ringing. It doesn't matter if it's a buzz or what it is, the phone is always ringing. I just have to do something because if I don't duplicate my tab and erase an old video, they won't let me save this one. Okay. Okay, so yes, so let's go planet with rings. Well, if it rings, you can feel it, right? Through the vibration. Although you as a human might not be able to feel it, maybe you can hear it. But if it's not a bell and it's a phone, maybe there's not enough vibration. And if you can't hear, you might not hear the ring. But yet, those who hear ringing in their ears can be deaf. But can you hear ringing in your ears? Can you hear within? Can you hear, or are you feeling your heartbeat that you think you're hearing your heartbeat, but you can't hear at all because you're deaf? Federation Deaf 4, 5, and 6 also included in the game of cribbage. Also 4 times 5 times 6 is 120, and it's the one spirit pole passing. That is the game of pool. But I want to get back to numbers, and I don't want to forget. There's so many things. The roads just keep opening up, right? Another thing is that in L, right? In L, I'm going to just show you this and then try to stick on it. That in L, what can happen in L? Is this the base L? No, I like to look at this like I said earlier. You can't have L until you do this, and then you turn it into B. See, you go from that, what looks like a slanted, into a B, into a D, into a P, turns into a lot of letters. And when you square it off, you got full formation on the other side. CD is a full square. So when I'm talking about the L, I'm just trying to see why did I say that? Why did I all of a sudden jump? Because I was looking at this. Anyways, let's get back to Planet of the Rings, and let me think. I'm thinking of going too fast. Ring. Planet is house. Saturn is 93, 39, and your first 12 actually is created through the sky. Ciel. In French, when you say the letters C and L as ciel, it says sky. It also says see her, okay? And now you would say in sound, you can also see him because Elohim. Elle et lui. Lui is him. L-U-I is him in French. I like to use English and French. It balances things out. And other languages for better understanding, in which I'm going to show you in Hebrew soon, what I see. It doesn't mean I'm finite. Saturn, 555, equals 125 and 15, 14 again, equals back to 5. That's a number that inverts to itself. 5 times 5 times 5, 125. 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. 140. 1 and 4 is 5. So it inverts. So like 5, okay, 8 also inverts into itself, but 5 does not invert to itself right away. 8 times 8 equals 64, okay? 8 times plus 8 equals 16. 7, this totals 80, okay, equals to 8. In this one, it equals to 25 and 10. And if you notice, 7 and 5, 1 and 0. So here we get 17 and here we get 17. I don't know why I got sidetracked. So in this reality over here, they both come into each other, both 5 and 8. So let me see, I did that. I wanted to talk about this, but yes, I wanted to finish with the rings. Sorry about that. There's so many things that go on. So now we also have 5 times 5 times 5, 125, which is 25 is Earth, or 52, which also is Jack. 51 is Mars. 1 and 2 comes together to create your 17. Your 15, because of the voided area space. Take out, multiply this by 2, and then take out A plus B together, because I'm using 2 sides, right? 1 with 8 around it, and then 2, right? 2 with 7 in between, with the 1 spirit inside a 6. The 1 spirit is inside a 6 in the house of Bait. 2, 6, 2, 1. When you're talking 2, 1, you're talking about the heavens, because the 1 area over here has 8 numbers around it, or 8 digits. So we're going to get back to our fingers and the rings, okay? The rings. 1 ring, okay? 1 ring. 1 ring. Let's call ring. Ring is number 48. So 1 ring is 48. 2 rings is 48. 3 rings is 48. And then we have the 4th ring. So if I remember correctly, first of all, 102 is Valentine. This is from an hour ago. 51 is Mars. 1 is 3 times 17. The other is 6 times 17. And this one's Mars. And this one's the house of Bait, the blue world, right? JB. So this is 3 rings. Each one of these is the value of 48. I'm not going to use the AI, because in every single one of more than 1 ring is going to be the birth. Ring, rings, because in the leap year, it's a ring. The leap year is the only time that there's an extra one. The leap year is the only time there's an extra one. So we have 12, 12, 12, and 12. Now, if I was playing basketball, we'd have 48 minutes in a game. And then we have 32 and 32 and 32 equaling, first of all, we have 36 and 96. February is the February 26, 36, 46, 47 time 25, 43, 44, 54, 64, 65. Where did I 25 and 18? 25 and 8, 43, 44, 54, 64, 65, 75, 83, 84, 85, 96 for February. In rotation of 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 equals to 9, equals to 6. If I only knew. New is 999. So anyways, this is a 96. And we add on the last one, it becomes 128. But I like to count it onto a single digit. It becomes 38. So this is telling me that 1 is the controller of 2 Venus. 1, 2. Or is it 1 and these 2? Which one do we want to use? 1? Should we use this is 2? If I wasn't using the thumb and I was only using the 4 fingers, would I still use this as 1, or would I tie the ring finger up to the center finger? Have you ever seen the center finger? Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm a little busy. Can I call you back? But I can take like 30 seconds or less. Let me call you back in an hour. Okay, ciao. Okay, so yeah, I hate to lose my place. So we did February. Yes, we were adding up the numbers. Yes, the phone rings. So so we get the last one. 4 by 3 is 120, 128. We come to 38. We were with this one. You put the finger in and you turn the switch, right? You put the key in, and you turn the switch. So you're putting the key in, right, into the center. This is the center knuckle, more or less. So anyways, you get
this number, and this is the mirror side. So 8, 9, 10, 11, you have 12 and 11 that come together. This becomes 3 and 2. That's your base that comes together. But it's all about 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 8, 8, 8, 8 that comes together in this one. So 48, which will create 62, 8, will create 8, 8, 8, 8. Let me show you that again. Okay. 3 and 5 is 8. 3 and 5 is 8. 3 and 5 is 8. Let's stop there. We have a total of 24. Then we add on the next one. We end up with 32. And now we're overlapping into the 24, or we've mirrored everything and 8 hours has disappeared from time. So I want to go over and talk about the Hebrew numbers that has told me something new about AI. Just want to check out, let me see.
Mars is fire, but contains water from Saturn rings. Well, if we wanted to talk about 6, okay, or we wanted to talk about 5, or we wanted to talk about 4, my question is, if you're starting at 9, Pluto, to 8, Neptune, to 7, Uranus, you end up with 6. And all you end up with is Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. But inside of Jupiter is both Earth, Venus, and everything is made up. Okay? Everything is made up. And you don't need Mars because the fingerprint is the 4. It still remains in these corners, and it still remains in these corners. And 6 inherits. The 1 inherits the heavens of 6 of Saturn. But Mars is what is made up or broken down to 2 times Venus. So actually you can just go Mercury, Venus to what is your creation of 11. Mercury, Venus, 3. JC, Jesus Christ, 103. Earth and Mars, 103. Mercury, 103.
So where were you going to go with this? Wow. I'm not sure where we were going to go with this. I was going to go with Yod, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Vav, Zion, I think it's Chet, Tet. I think that's it. So I would go to here, and then when I got to here, I would go Tet. And then here I would go Tet. And then over here I'd go Yod. So this would be 11, 12. Why am I writing so far away? Here we go 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. So it's just so funny that 10, 9, 9, 10 to where tet, tet, okay? Yod, yod, 100, tet, tet, 81, 181. Well, I don't know very many words with 100, but I also do know that it's C, which is XX, 2 barnyard doors, 2 cubes. And this one over here is Venus. Also square. Also is a fabrication of So what's going on here? What happens here is I'm going to go down to this part and then bring you back. In order to get 81, it's 9 times 9 times plus 9. Okay, equals to 81 and 18. Okay, the letter R, I can use the letter H and J. French language, they say 18. They mention 10. 10 is a fabrication of A, B, C, D in 1. A, B, C, D in 1. So what happens over here is the next one would be 9 times 9. So 9 equals to 42. T and Y equals to 45. You can also say fox. You can also go and average in numbers of 9 by 5. So inside is the house planet, 6 and 8. 97, 9 is noted to be birth. 7 is noted to be a gate. And it's also the peak. Whether we're using the pyramid as so or we're using it as so, I have to think about which way. Is it the dot or the line? Because in this situation, we're going to call this Mars. Because of this situation, we're going to call it Earth if it's in blocks. Lines might be location. This side of the block, that side of the block. That's what it might be. I don't know. But I know Mars, and you can also see is the chicken foot. Looks like the blocks of the Mayans. We come down a little bit deeper. Number 13 equals to 99. Number 13 is written as 28, time heaven, in which, as not discussed earlier, that it begins at 4th and ends at 20th. Although there's a breakup in between because of 1st and because of 21st. It's the first time they say it. We now have the head and the tail. So only with the first card can you get 1. After that, 2 ones can either be 1, ace, ace, 1, 11, 34, and 63, 97. Wonder if we can do that artwork. You bar life. You just put 1 V. You put a bar in between 1. You have XX. You divide it above and below. I'm just thinking W and M. Okay, so this is the word 13, and the word 13 equals to 99. Now, in the word ET, 25. In the word EN equals 19. 19 can also be the spirit to earth is ET. When you multiply it by 3, it brings you to the year 5775 or the year 2015. And during that period of time, there were 75,075 moons that passed, in which the mathematics will create 47. Since it's on each side each other and over 0 could be representing moon, it'd be time after time. So now when we count here in Hebrew, we're using 10. Okay, I'm using 10 with these numbers. 10 valued at 39. Zis, 49. Mars, the 4th planet. 9 is the birth. Not because of the Roman numeral and the one before. In fact, this is 509. D is 500. They're all Roman numerals in French. So it becomes 37. 24 and 9 is 30. No, how did I get that? Must be thinking of another number. 24 and 9 is 33. And 4 is 37. So, okay, 37. And when you take out this roulette wheel, 19 and 18 is where everything divides. 37. Because 20 is on this side of the board. 6, 7 is on this side of the board. 21, 22, 33, 34. So they're all the opposites of 7 except for these 2 over here. See, 8 also is the same thing. 8 and 9 and 7. Okay, the 9, okay, is here. And the 7 is here. The 25, you'll have 24 and 26, which is going to be here and here. So all the 37s. And then we have 39, 33 and 6, 39, 37, 39, 37, 39, 37, 31, 37, 39, 37, 39, 37, 39, 39, 37, 39. So the whole wheel is made up that way. So it's all 37. And now we can say possibly it's representing these two numbers. So now when we get to 15, they're using 9 and 6 and 9 and 7 inside the house. Why are they doing this? 31, the cube. Why are they doing this? I don't know. Here it becomes 10. Here it becomes 11. Windows 10, Windows 11, 21, 15, 24. So I have to think about that. Why? What's 24? 24 is now. 2024. The polarity is 23. 17, Mars. 18, the sun. Tet, 19, the moon. Yod Tet. Is that what it is? Oh yes, Yod Tet. It's the moon they're talking about. So in which one do they talk about the sun? In Dalit? I have to think a little bit deeper.
ET phone home. So T, if depending on how you want to do the design and discuss it, when I do this piece, I like to give a number a whole area. I can either use the dot, where the dot, right? If I put a dot, I only can put a dot where there's lines. Now the question is, are the lines running like this? If our grill is running like this, there's a new perspective in my numbers. Okay. If area space is broken into 4s, can you break an area space into 3? No, you can't. The reason why you can't, at least not at the beginning, is because here's an area space. Now, either I put a line this way or I put a line this way. The only time to break it up further is to put another square to run the lines. Now we can meet and match. This one is already broken up between two sides, right? But this one is not. So now what do we have? We have 5 and 5 areas. 1, 2, 3. And then over here, we have a split area over here, up over here. So we can work these 3 areas and these 2 areas. Because I have to do a builder's code. I got to follow wherever the dots are. Or if I create an X, I now can make the crossings over here and know where my center is, using that reality for its ruler. And now over here, we have the divided house. Maybe we can call it Mars, right in the center between two sides. So we're going to call that the 50-yard line. Because if it wasn't this one and it was this one, right, we possibly can call this the 55-yard line. Which one's the 55-yard line? The CFL or the NFL? Here, I would be connecting M and N together. A lock between 2 letters. I'm not going to get into that. So anyways, one is the 55-yard line. The other one would be the 50. One you can divide evenly. The other one you cannot. It's shared. This is your side. That's my side. It's shared. Now, if maybe the sizes are wrong, but when I bring the 10 yards together, right, I have to bring either it's this 10 yards or it's this 10 yards in this one. In this one, I bring both sides together for the 10. We lock them all up. But over here, I'm either playing here and here or here and here. And those are the 10 yards. And that's the extra 5 yards in the CFL. So just to know if you see it the same way or not. I still have to go over rings. We're not here because in rings, it's only the base. Because if it's ringing, someone's sending a message. So someone's dialing, beep, 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 Roadrunner. If someone's dialing, phone rings, someone's receiving. One person speaks, the other person hears. Ring around the collar. Ring around the collar. Ring the phone. Phone. In phone, they're already talking about the split, because 4 times 4, 4 plus 4 will create P and H. The invert for P is K, okay? And the invert for H is S. So now you have SK coming together to work as PH coming together. So scoot, I don't know, just SK. And this is 24, so the other one is 30, the day of creation. Now 1 is DC, which is number 3 and 4. Number 1 represents 3 and 4. 44 for space. 33 for mass equals to 9 and 6 will equate to the numeric value in the sun of the IT system. 1 ring to rule them all, and in the darkness bind them, the ring of fire. And now we need the area space. They're divided in that 5 yards, that dark area, I believe. Or are we on 3 sides and have a choice to move? Or is Mars because we're locked up? Our birth is locked up.
If our birth is locked up, hold on a second. The numeric value for Mars is here. The number of planet is here. Here's Earth. Earth 33, Mars 22. That's your freedom. Did I get that right? Yeah. 3 by 3, 2 by 2. Why? Because Earth numeric value is 52. I need 2 lines and I need a V. I need 7. The only way to draw 7 is that way. See, Mars, I would end up with 3 of them. But these are on the outsides. I only have 1 that divides 1 line on the inside. And here you would have 4 anyway. So it would be 4 and 4. So with this, I get 2 lines. And when we're counting the area space, here, here, and either above or below, ringing the reason for 3, 6, 9, and 12, 1 and 2 is 3. I don't know if I'm going to be able to explain that right, but in roulette, everything ends in sections of 12 and not by sections of 9, just like 2 ends of the shoelace. Although they're different here, 2 ends of the shoelace are the same, although this one is not, although it's still the same pen. One is one end, one is the other end. In a shoelace, they both do the same thing, but one ties from the left to right, the other ties from the right to left. Now, should I be doing this? If I was doing a single line, I'd be doing a single line with Mars and then the double line with Earth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I like to look at this as my the crooked line on the Budweiser bow tie. So where am I? Where are we?
I want to get back to building of the Star of David again. XX is the judgment card, so C100 and X10, so XX is 20. Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And 420s is how they express the heavens, 80 in French. Also that we need a third X. If you want to look to spirits, right? If you go back to the old movies, they always put XXX. Usually when you're loving someone, it's X and O. So you're actually going 15, 24, 15, 24, 66, 66, 66, telling someone you love them. At the same time, XX is the 24th letter. I don't know whether you'd rather see my face or my writing.
And it's actually like a sideways I, right? Whoop, I shouldn't have done it that way. So you have X24 and you have C3. And if you want to invert the alphabet, you'll have XC and C. Wow. Hold on. Let me do this again. You'll have C24 and X3. Single digit, double digit. Why? Because they total 27. So your gate in here is through X and through C, and your gate is 33. The invert alphabet to what is 3 is going to be 4. So now we go D4, which is W23. So now we get 23 and we get 4. So our inverted gate to what is DC is now going to be XW, or 2023, 2024. 47, time pass. I think it's time pass for Intel because of the T letter. That's what it looks like. 7, 7, but this is 20 and this one's 7. GT coming together. So the invert of this, where 180 degrees comes, is in the year 2023, 2024, is the same thing as where D and C, 3 and 4 come together, which creates the house planet of DC. Well, it's pretty simple. 3 and 3 is 6. 4 and 4 is 8. Okay, but it started with DC or CC and DD, where you have 9IF, and here you got 16P and 8H. Or if you want to look at it, you can look at this, or just that, however you want, or this. Born in the heavens of earth. And X and W invert with each other.
Yes, CC, right. So at the same time, when you go bowling, you're using X's. And now with those X's, you're going to be accumulating 3 X's in a row. You're gonna accumulate 3 X's in a row, because in order to mark off the first box, right? It's three shots, it's three throws. It's 2 throws. It's 2 throws counting for a series of 3 frames, which means it's a total of 6 chances to roll the ball. 6 chances to roll the ball for your 3 frames, in which if you will have, so with 3 strikes and 30 creation, you will end up with 3 unused. But should you get a spare in each one, it'll only be 2, 2, 2, and 2, equaling to a total of 6. But you're only counting the score from the next frame, or the total of 3 balls rolled that associate together. Just like you get 2 assists in hockey to the one that scores, to the one period that's in between, not the beginning, but that is the one period that is not the beginning or the end, but it is the middle period, or the 30-minute mark is in the middle of the game. Unlike the football, when your 30-minute mark hits you, the halftime, we go through 20. Hold on. Intermission. Intermission is hockey, but halftime is football. Right? After. When you say after, it's also saying half tear, which means half earth. Halftime is 23.5. Is that a vibration or something? I know it says bell. Intermission, okay, when you have the ISS come together, right away you're talking about Mars. 1551. And the word when ON come together, you now have a division in pi because O is the 14th letter.
And I'm going to end it on this. O is the 14th letter. N is the 15th letter. Oh, sorry, in reverse. Okay. And the pi is 3.1415. The next numbers in pi are 29. They add up to 92. They add up to 29. And then this is 5 and this is 6. And those are the next numbers. So I like to think that ON is my division in pi.
Hey, Rooster. In. So in also has a numeric value, okay, of 23. And the word in is actually inside itself. It's number 14 for N. It's also in the E family where E is inside of I through A. The reason for that is here's your calculator. Here's all 9, right? The center over here is the single dot, okay? The inverted cube of 9 is 5. 5 and 4 the sun to MAR RAM, because MAR is also the total to RAM. In Earth, number 23. Both the numeric number for Mars, 5 and 1, 5 times 1, 5 plus 1, in which will create 6 and 5, 11, does the same thing through its word, MAR, not counting the S, because the S is plural, meaning more than one. And
if I had to move around stuff, right, Mars is 4. So if I was to move around stuff, I can use these 4 or these 4 or these 4 or these 4 inside of 9. So there's 4 by 4 areas, okay, inside of 9 areas. So Mars goes 4 and 9, possibly the reason for the ring. And then the question comes, is there going to be a center area? Another thing is, can we be counting Mars as all the 4 corners, depending on how you want to look at it? But if I do that, I don't end up with 9. In this scenario, okay, I end up with 5. Okay, if I make it any larger, in this scenario, I end up with 9. But in this scenario, the division between day and night, okay, I end up with 16, and it becomes PHE, and E is like I. But in this area space, I end up with 9 areas, pi. In this area space, I end up with 4 areas, D. So it becomes die, like dimanche. And it's not bi, it's die. So it's duplicated what bi is, or it's singularity to what bi is, because inside a B is 2 Ds. So if there's 2 Ds inside a B, how did they split B? Should we multiply it to create more, or should we cut it in half to create less? Because in that situation, B would become D would become H. 248. The dividing day between the house. 24 hours. So this is what this scenario, and each one of these is going to tell a different story. And this one over here, right, if you want to go with the 9, we're going to go with I. If you want to go with this one, and I'm just going to, there's so many stories that go in here, but in this one here, I like to call it the purple world. And the reason for that is there's these 4 dots over here, and then there's 12 dots on the outside, and that's going to revert to the game of pool.
Thanks. Well, really, it's. I'm not sure if you understood that. I didn't even finish with this, which is all equaling to 111. But I don't really know numbers myself. I'm just telling you the stories that I remember over 18 years of work. I mean, we all know there's 9 areas here. I just create all these equations. Hockey, 3 periods. In fact, I didn't even do this. I didn't even get to do the divisions, right? I want to see if I can do the divisions here. Let me see. So yeah, so we got baseball. So in baseball, okay, we throw a ball, but we end up with a strike. Okay, we didn't strike anybody, and I didn't strike a match for fire. But we also have balls in baseball. We also have understanding. We have the game of bowling. In bowling, it's 10 pins, it's 10 frames. In baseball, it's 9 innings, but 9 innings that I go to the plate, offense and defense, OD, 15 and 4, OD, 19. Offense and defense for both teams, that's 4. So there's equations. And when you throw the pitcher throws the ball to the catcher, taking 2 people, and it's either a ball or a strike. And we're only going to do the maximum of 6 pitches, yet there are 7, because it's 4 balls and 3 strikes for something to happen. But it's either going to be this or it's going to be this. It's either going to be 4 and 2 or it's going to be 3 and 3. 3 and 3, you're out. 4 and 2, you have taken a base. So before you get the point to score, you need to have 4 runners. 4 runners, 4 walks, 4x4, 16p, 3 people are out, 3x3, 9i, pi, dividing it up. So at the same time, I think both have to happen. So numbers, I mean, I just do the mathematics, and the story is the story, and then the artwork or building of the frame, see what it is all these lines equal to a 111. Let's see if I can do this right. Okay, but when you add the singularity position, right, it equals to 21. When you add the second scenario to it, it equals to 2 or 20, right? 3, 6. Oh no, I didn't add that. I put it over here, 9, right? So in the first ball, 21, 31, 31. So over here, it's the dots. Over here, it's talking about the cube. I have to understand this a little bit better. 84 will be the cycles of the moon. 48 will be the time clock off of through Pluto, the ring and the pole. And I have to go through all of these to understand them. This is coming into DC, the direct, from alternate current to direct current, running through the moon. And then when I come down to this one over here, right, 18, 6 and 5, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we're talking about creation in the heavens, birth in the sun. And your total numeric value is number 19 through 8i, through Pluto, through Saturn, Pluto, Saturn. That's their number value. Then down here, I did the same thing. And then each one of these are 6x6 areas. So they're all telling different stories. Now, when I do it to a singular count, okay, it ends up with even more stories inside of it. When you add these up, this was the other page, okay? And where this came from, I'm just going to show you where it came from. So, because everything I do has to be backed up. And it came from this guy over here. Let me see if I can move this around. Yeah, it came from this guy, Jonathan Pajos. I think he's in Montreal. He was covering 666, and that also is something else. It relates to the moon. So here's the same numbers, or if you want to relate to Saturn square or Fibonacci or pi, I can pi. Oh yeah, I haven't yet. I mean, I can't make up all the stories, but I can find out through certain things that I can't get much of a story through. Like if I look at a deck of cards and I see the jack, I'm just going to tell you this is a one-eyed jack, right? I also see that it's a heart. I also see the cap. Okay, looks like the part of a hexagon, also the part of an octagon, also the part of a pentagram. I can see his hair is curled backwards, looks like a number 6, or looks like the B. This looks like a mask
that he puts on for the masquerade because he's already dressed up. And he's got a mustache. It's also got 3 plug-in elements over here. And it's the J, which is the 10th letter. The 10th letter also represents the mirror of C is D. It also is the invert of that is a W, which is the 23rd letter, which will break down into creation. So everything is telling me creation is through Mars, or was that recreation? Number 23, through Mars, because R and E and R is telling me recreation. Emergency room. 5 and 18, all I'm missing is the 13, matter and energy to come together. Okay, I just started watching him, and it's very interesting. I don't know everything that he does, but this whole world of numbers is just crazy. Let me see. Yes, I didn't finish watching it. I just watched part of 6. So 6 times 6 times 6 is 216, like he spoke, which is 21.6. So what is it talking about? I know the moon is 2,160 miles. I know that when you add up in the game of pool, you have 15 balls. When I add up the 15 balls, okay, it equals to 120. All zeros equal 6. You can't be of the heaven and in the heaven. You're one spirit that gives you life, that your heart beats into the 6 of the light. 2 through 6, not 1 through 5 is the way I see it. Or it doesn't really matter because they both exist. 2 through 6 equals to 20. 1 through 5 equals to 15. We live in this realm over here. The one spirit lives inside of 6. They had to replicate putting the queen owning the heavens with 8 eyes. In fact, the queen has 8 and 8 eyes. The king has 7 and 7 eyes, which creates the sun, which is what they call the big M. Where does this come from? 7 times 7, 49. 7 plus 7, 14. Numeric value for the sun and the fox pass is 54, 45, 99. Creating 9 from 77. The word 11 equals to 63. It's also 3 cube dots of 21, which is blackjack, blackjack, blackjack. But anyways, I'm getting off course. So the jack is 66. Woman is 66, but it was replaced with 80. Interstate 80 replaced 66, which starts from this equation over here. So 6 and 6, 12, okay, gets replaced by 8 and 8 or 8. Just to note, one times 1, 1 plus 1, 2 and 1, 3. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 is 4 and 4, 8. Center finger. Also the 18th finger and the 3rd finger and the 8th finger and the 13th finger. Is it any other finger? It's got less than the other ones because it's the middle one. It's 1, 2, 3 from either side. So it's got 10, 15, 18. It's got 3 or 8. It's got 2 feet is 10 plus 1 hand plus this hand or this hand. So this is what I see at 31, 31 and 11. What is it? 42. So you have your 2 feet. Your 3 is 18. You have your 2 and that. You have your 1. You have your 1. Yeah. That's all you can do with this. The other ones you can do more. I mean, if it was the fourth finger, it would be 2, it would be 4, it would be 19, it would be 12. Would it be any other finger? Oh, it would be 7. Did I 5, 10? Oh, it would be 14. 5, 10, 14. So you can do this with the fourth finger, but with the third finger, you can only do this one. Did I miss something out here? 2, 4, 19, 12, 7, 14, 21, 31, 6, 15, 16, 17, 24, 28, 2, 3, 4, 5, 58. This one gets 42. Anyways, just looking at something.
216 equals 9. Yes. And I relate that to the moon. I also relate that to the queen, the half-life, the spirit. 62 queen, 91 spirit. But 91, unlike 16, is when you add up 1 to 13, it equals to 91. There are 13 cards, okay, in one suit. When you add up 1 to 13, not counting that the ace can go last and make it 105, okay? The ace goes last, it becomes the 14th card, it becomes 105, which becomes the letters J-E as in I am. But, hold on a second. Let me do this. What was I doing here? 216. Well, I took the camera after right. Let me think. 216, 216. Well, first of all, we got 1.5, and we have 2.5, 3.5. What is this? Well, between 1 and 2, the average is 1.5. Between 2 and 5, 1.5, between 2 and 5, it's 3.5. And then the difference between 1 and 6 is 3.5. The difference between, hold on, let me do this again. Wow, okay. 1 and 6, 2 and 5, 3 and 4, 0.5, 1.5, 2.5. The difference to the heart of this number, 2.5 plus 1 is 3.5. 2 plus 1.5 is 3.5. 0.5 plus 3. So when DC comes together in the E world, when Mars comes together between B and E, we're missing 1.5. In between 1 and 6, Earth. In between 2 and 5, Mars. So our birth creation with the 1-day rest brings on Earth. With the weekend creation, okay, into the E world, it brings on Mars. 1, 2, and 3 days. This one brings on the division at Wednesday. 0.5. So now we're going to use these numbers with these numbers, 265, 176, and 354. Creation in the sun. Number 23, through Mars. Okay, where was I? I get a little excited. I wanted to write something down. The 9th planet is Pluto. Pluto is number 84. Ring is number 84. Jesus didn't want us to forget that in Bethlehem, B-E, house of Bet, in the heavens of Bet, in the heavens of the pig, because the pig, I always look at these and I call them the pigs, the 2 nostrils, the straight pigs. Bethlehem, E-T. 20 and 25 is the X and the O. Will create, when you put 2 X's together, you create an O in the center. You create that love between the 2. Oh, yes, I remember what I was creating before. I remember now. Okay, I'm just going to leave that out. I can't add any more. Okay, so you know what? I think you're the only one here. We're going to end it now. If you have any questions to put together anything, 12 and 9, 21. In fact, 216 creates 6 times 2, 12 and 1. I got the band and 6, 1 and 2 I have over here. But anyways, let's end it right now. Ask me any questions and I'll see if I can figure out the equation that can link other things together. Peace and love. Me too. Gotta go. 3 hours. Lunchtime. Peace. We're going to reunite. This is all coming together. This is all coming together. Thank you.